Hi, this is Steven from Just Got Played, and today I'm going to unbox Oros. So this copy was sent to me by Lucky Duck Games, so thank you for providing that copy for this unboxing, and then we'll do a review as well. So in Oros, you're an all-powerful demigod, and then I think the hook for this game is the ever-shifting world. But you're also erupting volcanoes, deformed mountains, and you're manipulating your followers. And so let's get this open and see what all is in here. The game is for 1 to 4 players, 30 minutes per player, ages 14 and up. Although I feel like these boxes always say that, regardless of how complicated the game is. All right, well, we got the rule book right up front, so that's a good start. What do we have in here? All right, so the game components, nice. Table of contents. There are a lot of pages here, so it's table of contents. All right. Talks about the map and the player mat. We'll get to those. More about the map. Player mats, playing solo or 2-player. All right, cool. How the game is played. Talks about wisdom. Wisdom is sort of like, use that essentially like a tech track. Shifting the tiles. So there's different ways that you can manipulate and move the tiles. And, those tiles, they kind of ram together and form mountains and volcanoes. And like I said, that is sort of the hook of the game, the puzzle that you're trying to work out. All right, you're talking about the followers and building the sacred sites. Okay, the sacred sites help you study, which is, again, how you move up on the wisdom track. So it's like research. And final scoring. All right, and then the automa, so advanced game variants. A lot of those. Something about a side quest. Okay. And achievements. Okay. Mistakes, tips, and strategies. Thanks. All right. And a symbol reference guide. That is a lot of symbols. All right. Cool. All right. Let's take a look at all the different components here. See if I can get this open. All right, so these are the sacred sites. So the sacred sites come in a few different sizes. So I think you have 3 sacred sites of 3 different sizes, and those can be sort of stacked up on a mountain. All right, so we have all of those in the different player colors. Then we have the demigod standees. So this is the retail version of the game. There is like a collector's version, which probably has fancier wooden components or something, but we just have these. All right, these are the foresight tokens, and these are, nice quality cardboard. They're pretty thick, right? All right, so we've got those, and I'm not sure what these are. They're player markers, it seems. All right. And then, of course, just more of these sacred sites. All right, what do we got over here? Well, obviously, we're going to need a bunch of tiles. So, these tiles, when you look at them, they have sort of a size, I guess, height maybe, right? So there's a 1, and let's take a look at a 2. So there's a 2, and then we have a 3. Let's look at a 3. These are also the same good thickness. All right, 3 and then 4. All right, there's the 4 with a llama. Cool. Maybe an alpaca. I don't know. And then there's the mountains. All right. Nice. Let's see. What else we got here? More of these markers. I guess these are the foresight tokens for a different player color. All right. So yeah, again, a lot of different tiles for the game. Some more foresight tokens. More tiles for the game. The foresight tokens for yet another player color. All right, so let's get this out. These are the wisdom tracks, the player boards, player mats, and they are double-sided. So let's have a look at those. All right. Demigod of the Fertile Land. All right, so there's the spots up here to study. And then these are basically the wisdom, use wisdom to go up on these tracks. And so it unlocks different abilities because these are the actions that you can do. You can put your followers on them to trigger these actions. And then what that action actually does is how far you've unlocked up here. So you use, one of the wisdom caps to sort of designate where you are on the board. And then over here, you can just score points for these parts for building the sacred sites. All right, so these are double-sided. So what's on the other side? Oh, it's an Automa. All right. And so the demigod of the raging fire. So there you go. I think these are all the same. As far as the actions, etc., it's not asymmetric. All right, and then, another Automa. Demigod of the great waters. All right, there you go. Friendly. All right. Demigod of the living sun. Challenging. All right, cool. All right, so this is the Ascension Track, and I guess that's where those tokens probably went, right? So you move up on this track. I guess it goes this way. It's like a snake thing. And when somebody gets to the top, that's at least one way, maybe the only way that the game ends. All right. Set that aside. We have the board. I'm not going to look at the board just yet. I'm going to look at some of the components that are in here. All right, so these are volcanoes, and those come in 4 different sizes. These are the 3s. So let me just put those aside. I'll get one of each type out, and then we'll look at them here. The 2s. So there's the 2s. Here's the 4s. And these are the 1s. All right, let me get one of each in hand here, and we can sort of compare them. Right, all right, so there's a 1, 4, 3, 4, 1, and 2. All right, so you can kind of see comparison a little bit between the different ones. They're nice. They're nice wooden components, and they've got some lava spewing out the top there. Those volcanoes, so that's kind of cool. All right, there you go. There's a lot of different volcano pieces. All right, so these are the wisdom caps. So let me take one of these, and I'll grab one of the player mats back. So you can see these just go on here, and then they move up. And that shows you, whatever's underneath the cap is what you have unlocked, the ability, essentially. All right, so that's what those are for. And we have those in the different player colors. So there you go. Those are the 3 different player colors along with the green that we looked at earlier. All right, so we have the followers. So again, let me just grab one follower from each one of these bags, and then we'll compare those. And, so I mentioned the moving of the land tiles around is sort of the hook for this game. So, it's puzzly. I've been slightly worried because I've played games before where the board changes right before your turn starts. And that means you basically can't plan your turn until the beginning of your turn, which slows the game down. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. We'll see. I don't think the changes are so dramatic, but those are the followers in the 4 different player colors. So you can see each different player color also sort of has the symbol for each demigod as well as the color, and then, slightly different art. So pretty cool. I like that. These are the bases for the standees that we saw earlier, right? Just basic plastic bases, what you would expect. All right. And let's see, there's a score pad. So that shows you all the different ways that you can score points, right? So these are your different sacred sites. These are your followers. I don't know what that is. And that's your position on the Ascension track. All right, so those are ways you can score points. Another bag in here, so that's nice. And then a bunch of cards. So I think these cards are just for the Automa. But let me get it open and see. because to be honest, I never play these types of games solo. So I wasn't even expecting a deck of cards here. But yeah, all right. So these are all for the Automa. And then, each one goes with the specific one from the back of, right? So that was the back of the blue. And then the green. I think the purple was challenging. And the orange was friendly, maybe. But, these are the different cards, probably that the Automa plays on their turn. Not exactly sure. All right, so let me move this, and we can bring the board into focus. We can take a look. Now, I don't know exactly how the game is played, but I had a general idea, which is why, I was interested in this game in the first place. So you'll have these tiles out here. Actually, you know what? This is a double-sided, so I think this is the more complicated version of the board, and there's a simpler version that you play with your first game, I think. So let me just put that one out. All right, so you have these tiles, and they will move around. So, for instance, if you're sort of rotating the board, these would move this way, or maybe that way. If they were here, you might move them like that, or maybe like that. And if they were here, you would move them like that, in which case they would just go like that. So that's how those pieces work. But if, for instance, say you were just moving this column and moving it to the right, this one would collide with that one. And so a 1 and a 1 would make a 2. Pretty sure that's how that works. And then eventually you can have volcanoes and other things as well. So, this is a decent thickness board. It's got the 2 different sides for, I think, beginner and advanced. I think that's what those sides are. So overall, that's pretty nice. This is basically, a retail version of the game. So I could see how they could have done nicer components to make a collector's edition. And they did that, which I think was some crowdfunding thing. But overall, the quality of this version is pretty neat. So that shows you everything that comes in the game. If you have any questions about what you saw here today, take a look in the description of the video. We have a Discord channel, so you can come over there and talk to us, ask us questions about this or anything about board games in general, or you can just leave a comment in the YouTube video if you want. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. I'm looking forward to getting this played and doing a review for it, so be on the lookout for that. But thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.